Love you so, baby, please don't go. You got dimples in your jaw. You got dimples in your jaw.
Okay, hi guys, and welcome to the show. Today, a very special show indeed, because we will be unboxing an absolute legend, one of the most legendary chronographs from Seiko. Probably, yeah, I think definitely the most legendary, because the Giugiaro is pretty legendary, but that one pretended to go into space, whereas this one actually did. So very, very cool indeed. Anyway, before we get into that, I'm going to be discussing my 5 loves and loathes of my little Henry, the Tudor day date, the Tudor Prince day date. Mine is, of course, the reference. Let me get my notes because I can never remember references. 94614. Yeah, so my birth year watch from 1983, two-tone, with that stunning, elegant linen dial. Before I get into this video, I've got to do a wristwatch check, and yes, I'm wearing little subby. I've put it back into rotation. I've got to wear it more. I've got to enjoy it more, and I'm so happy that I didn't sell my darling little subby. Subby on the wrist. Why not? Why not? Now, let's discuss my little Tudor. So first of all, as I said, it's been a year since I've owned it. If you missed the review, I'll add a card or a thing. I think it's up there. We'll start with my 5 loves, and immediately the most obvious thing is the day date complication. It is incredibly useful and practical. It's become one of my favorite complications. In fact, it makes the watch really difficult not to have it in rotation because it's so useful. I can never remember 2 things: reference numbers on watches. I don't even know my own phone number. I don't even know my own address. I can never remember numbers. I don't know why. My slow brain or something, I don't know. And the other thing is the day of the week. I constantly, also because I'm self-employed, knowing the day of the week, the day-date complication is a wonderful, wonderful complication to have. And actually a bit of a macabre use. When I received the watch last February, I immediately went into hospital and for another big operation on my lung. When I had the watch in the hospital, because I was on a lot of morphine and drugs and what's the other, Percocet and all the rest of these, I was in and out of sleep. And also when you have surgery and you're in recovery, you don't really know what day it is. You don't know, so having a day date in hospital was a really useful thing. Yeah, I know it sounds a bit macabre. The only thing is I had to manually wind it because I was in the bed. I didn't move that much. Anyway, I don't know why I'm discussing that, but I'm just saying, very useful complication. Let's move on to the 4th point, and it's got to be value for money. I think this is one of the best value luxury watches on the used market, without a doubt. Now, I paid just shy of $1,300 about a year ago. I think it was about $1,250. I think I paid. No box, no papers. No bracelet. This is a sweet spot because they've been a bit overlooked. However, these days you'll be lucky to pick them up. Definitely not for that price, but you'll be lucky to pick them up from about $1,500 to $2,000, around the $2,000 mark, most likely. And this is 2017 now, so the beginning of 2017. However, even though the price has gone up, I still think it is a fantastic value for money because you're getting a little bit of that Rolex DNA. You look at the Rolex day dates we discussed not so long ago. They're only in precious metals. They are frightfully expensive, and it's paying a couple of grand for a Tudor day date compared to paying 10 grand or whatever it is for a Rolex day date. That's a significant difference. A great first luxury watch, or if you really like a day date but you don't particularly want one in precious metals or don't have that 10 grand lying about, this is the way to go. Anyway, let's move on. Number 3, variety. Now, the sheer amount of variety. Dial colors, I mean, there are some stunning blues, sunburst grays, the linen like mine, There's piano black, fluted bezel, the smooth bezel, there's the engine turn bezel. What else? You can get a variety of bracelets. It's a bit like the Datejust. Actually the Day Date as well, the Rolex. There's a fantastic array of variety. It's made it quite hard because I keep seeing, especially the blue ones. I saw a blue linen dial a couple of days ago when I was, late night eBay stalking. Do I need another Day Date? Absolutely not, but I can't help look at them. In fact, I sold a beautiful one for a friend of mine, and I would have kept it myself, although having 2 Tudor Day Dates is utterly ridiculous. But anyway, I think that's just greed. But I love the variety, the variation in you can really find one. Oh, and not to mention, not to forget the numerals. There are ones with really cool numerals, Romans, Arabics. And I gotta say, I'm a steel sports watch guy mostly, so I was a little unsure about the two-tone, but I gotta say, I love it. I love it. It's I never expected to like gold so much, but that's actually, that kind of leads on to another point, which we'll go into in just a moment. Okay, so that was number 3. Number 2 has got to be versatility of the piece. It's an extremely versatile watch, and what I mean by versatility, I'm talking about the strap combination. It has the drilled lug holes, which just makes it an absolute strap monster. I never knew a two-tone watch could be so versatile. Put it on a NATO, it looks great. Also, it's 20mm lug width, which is unusual for a watch with a 35mm diameter. Most of my straps in my collection are 20mm, and it works on literally everything. You could put a distressed collar web on it, you could put a crocodile, like the one I'm wearing it currently on, the crocodile. Goes well with luscious, like emerald greens, burgundies. It's dressy, but also has the oyster case and the screw down crown, so it's water resistant. You don't have to worry about even doing the washing up or out and about, and if it rains. You could even swim with it. However, this one is vintage. I'd have to get the gaskets changed and take it in for a service, have it checked for water resistance. But anyway, the drilled lug holes definitely make it a pleasure just to easily switch out. I wear it on NATOs. I know people for some reason always complain about at the end of the day, it's my watch. I do as I please, and it's a very, very comfortable and versatile piece, especially its size for me. And that leads on to my number 1 point, and this is the feeling it gives me. It has a charm to it, and I think some of it is because I'm an 80s baby. It makes me feel, even though it's not the same watch, it is reminiscent of the Patrick Bateman, the Datejust, the two-tone Datejust, American Psycho. It makes me think of Glengarry Glen Ross. There is a side to me that likes that Wall Street 80s cheesiness. I can't explain why. I've always loved the Day Date, and this gives me the feeling of a Day Date, but without that huge price tag. The charm extends to its actual function as well, all the features, the double quick set on the day and the date complication. This is really sad, but I do wait until midnight. It clicks over. I'll include some footage so you can see it, but it clicks really solidly to the day and the date at about a minute to midnight, and I don't know why, it's just very pleasing. I love it. Also, this older version, this 80s version, the later ones, which was it? The 94500, which I sold one of these. This is a 36mm, the 90s version that replaced this and went up until the reintroduction with the Glamour. And the Glamour's almost a very different watch. I mean, yes, it's a Day Date, but they made it bigger, they changed the hands, different case, and I've actually tried on the Glamour. It's a very different watch feeling, which is, you don't have that 80s charm of this one. Another aspect is that it's always going to be in the shadow of the Rolex Day Date. I think the Glamour has kind of stepped away from that, whereas this will always be, oh, is that a Rolex? I think the Glamour is a little bit more obviously its own thing. And I like what Tudor have done. However, I still prefer this one. The 94500 the 36mm one, does have the same feeling as this. On mine, it has still got the Rolex signed crown and Rolex oyster case on the back. If it had the bracelet, it would have Rolex symbol on the clasp. So there's still a lot of Rolex in it, which I find charming. You know, I find it, and also Tudor. For me, being English, you know, growing up in South London and then going out to Hampton Court Palace, that link to history, it's a little nod to British heritage, and I love that. You know, that's why Hans Waldorf, he was obsessed. He was a big Anglophile. It was that's why he named it Tudor. Obviously, it's a shame it doesn't have the rows on the, you know, like some of the really old Prince dates, I think. But I do love that little applied Tudor shield, the way it plays in the light. It's a very charming piece. And the linen, I never expected to love a bit of gold, you know, a little bit of gold. The tradition, my family, is to have yellow gold signet rings, so it's nice that it matches that. Okay, so let's talk about negatives. Okay, well, first of all, and I've been asked this twice since wearing it, you get that inevitable question, is that a Rolex? The first time actually was back in hospital. A nurse who was looking after me, I noticed she was wearing a Cartier tank. She knew her watches, and so she asked, "Oh, is that a Rolex?" And I began to explain Tudor, which I don't think she understood. And it was, you know, how do you explain Tudor to somebody? I mean, she knows what luxury watches are, but she wasn't that aware, you know, she's not like an obsessed nerd like we are, right? So the second time I was asked, I just said, yeah, it's a Rolex. You know, I can't be bothered to, it's such, you know, how do you explain Tudor to somebody that doesn't know about watches? It's, because then it sounds like, well, you start explaining it, it sounds like, well, then it's not a Rolex, but yet it has Rolex on the crown and blah, 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 and it's just, you know, I don't think she was that interested. She's probably bored, you know, listening to me bang on about Tudor. Anyway, so yeah, that inevitable question does arise. I would love to say, oh, it's a Tudor. You know, I did say the first time, it's a Tudor with pride, you know. So, oh no, this is a Tudor. Okay, so that was number 5, negative or hate. Number 4, it's not the most accurate watch in the world. It is time I probably serviced it. It's running a bit slow, which is not a good sign. Not dramatically slow. I mean, I'm not going to be late for a meeting, but I notice every few days it's a couple of minutes behind, which is not a good sign. Actually, I might see if it's magnetized. I'll test that first with the little compass. If you missed my magnetism video, if you missed that video. I'm not going to start that again. It's not chronometer certified like my other Rolexes. At the end of the day, it's just quite a bog standard ETA 2834, I think it is. I'm not quite sure if it's the -2 or the -3. The 2834-3, I think it is, in the later Tudors. So I'm pretty sure this is either I think this is the -2, but anyway. Bog standard ETA, you know, they decorated it a little bit with a signed rotor, but really it's just the standard ETA with a tiny bit of decoration. Solid movement, quite robust, reliable. You know, it's 28,800 vibrations an hour, 25 joules, I think it is, 40-hour power reserve. Nothing amazing, but you know, I do love that date change. But anyway, so it's not the most accurate. Number 3. Now, you guys may have seen I had it recently fixed because it has plastic crystal. I sent it off to Saltzman's. I did a before and after video. They do a bang up job. Absolutely love their work. They really had to use all their contacts to find the replacement crystal, because this 35mm size is not as common as the later 36. It's a bit of an in-between, an evolutionary step in the Prince Day dates. I mean, they found the perfect glass that fits it, but it's not officially Tudor. And that is a disappointment about this particular model, because it's that rarer 35mm case. Sourcing parts is a real pain, and it's made me a little bit wary about wearing it, because I was wearing it walking early, running about every day, and actually it's become more of a dress watch because it should be treated as such. It's not as robust. Anyway, we'll get into that in just another point. So that was number 3. Number 2, again, with this 35mm size, it doesn't fit the standard 20mm, for some reason, the 20mm Jubilee bracelet. I actually sourced a two-tone, not Rolex or Tudor. 99 times out of 100, a standard aftermarket Jubilee bracelet will fit pretty much most Rolexes and Tudors. With this one, there's a slight variation in the curvature. The end links do not fit in. You have to get the original Tudor Jubilee bracelet, and that was a real pain because I had that, you know, I wanted to really kind of recreate the Bateman, you know, and have it on a two-tone. And also, what's annoying is some of the Tudor Jubilees that do fit this are plated. They're not actually, I mean, although the gold in the bezel and the dial, the batons, that is 14 karat, I think it is 14 karat. I don't think they use 18 karat, but anyway. For some reason on the bracelet, it's plated. I guess to keep costs down, who knows. So that is a real pain, and I really, that's annoying because I'm dying to put it on a Jubilee. You know I love Jubilees. I got my little, where is it, there? I got my little GMT, the Hoffman. So that was number 2. Number 1, it's not the most robust. The gold, the yellow gold, is obviously on the crown and on the bezel. It's a little bit softer, so I have to watch out. Also, the crystal protrudes a bit. It's a shame because I would wear it more often. It's just because of this 80s version. The newer ones, you know, with the sapphire glass and the stainless steel, entirely stainless steel, obviously they're a little bit tougher. Anyway, guys, so that's my top 5 loves and loathes or hates. I must admit, it was quite difficult to come up with 5 negatives. It always is. And, you know, it's become a keeper. It really has become a keeper. I'm still loving it. It's my birthday watch. The little Henry got a very special place in my heart. It's given me so much enjoyment, worth every single penny. I'll only ever sell it if I upgrade to you know, the Rolex Day Date, but I don't think that will ever happen. I think this one has just got so much charm, and in a way it's more unique. So yeah, I absolutely adore this watch. Anyway, guys, so let's end with an unboxing of a very special watch indeed. This is a legendary watch. Well, I hope it is. I always get a bit scared because for some reason I'm scared that what's supposed to be in here is not in here, and then anyway, big shout out to Chris, my good friend Chris, another Chris, a different Chris from the previous Planet Ocean Chris. This is Chris H, I'll leave it at that. So let's open it up, and I am indeed using the Spyderco, the Sage one I think it is, but do correct me if I'm wrong. I love this knife, and this really is becoming my special unboxing knife. Anyway, so big shout out to Epic Snuggle Bunny for that one. So let's make the first incision and open her up. So it says Zenith on the box, unless he sent me the wrong watch. I mean, cool. Whatever it is, it's a win-win, because if it's not the watch that was intended, Zenith is just as fantastic. But anyway, yeah, let's do drum roll. And then open the box. Actually, I should unzip it first, and then we'll do the drum roll. Let's open her up. Oh, wow. So here it is. The legendary Seiko Pogue. Look at that. My gosh. I've never seen a gold as rich as that. Oh, that Pepsi tetrametric scale. So this is the legendary Pogue. I'm not sure if they named it officially after old William Pogue, the famed astronaut. But this, if my knowledge serves me correctly, I think it's the first automatic chronograph. So obviously the Speedmaster was manual wind. So this is the first automatic chronograph that made it into space. My gosh, look at that case. So cool. Look at the way that the bracelet tapers and meets the lugs. That, I've never seen anything like it. I can certainly see what the fuss is about. This tetrametric scale, that raised bezel is... So how do you rotate the inner bezel? Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. We got a bi-directional inner rotating bezel. That is cool. That is really nifty. I can't get over that gold. It's like it's beyond gold. It's like it's so rich. Let's have a look right close up. Come on, focus. There we go. Look at that. Look at the faded inner bezel. It's all nicely worn and oh, look at the way the crown is. Let's actually move those hands. So we got day date. We haven't got manual wind, so I presume we're gonna have to do the Seiko shuffle. Yeah, I can feel the with the rotor. I can feel the rotor. Let's start that chronograph. Ooh, there it goes. There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. Beautiful little day date function. They're framed. They're separated. That's interesting. Let's reset the. Actually, let's make it run for a full minute. See if the subdial works. Wow, I can't get over that case. I love how the pushers are angled outwards like that. Seiko, very typical stamped Seiko clasps of that era. They were all like that. So is this a 6139 or is this the 6138? Let's have a look. This is the 6139. Wow, okay. So this is the actual one worn. Well, not the actual one, but the actual model worn by old Pogue, unless I'm wrong, but we'll find all of this out for the full review. Subdial has ticked over. So let's reset the, let's stop the chronograph, reset it. Oh, snaps back beautifully. I just can't get over the colours. It's so lively. I mean, the 70s had some incredible watches. Let's pop it on the wrist. I should be saving this for the full review, but you know what? I can't resist it. I can't resist it. Oh, and it fits beautifully. I wonder what the diameter is. It's a little bit bigger because of that case, but it's nice, elegantly thin. It feels a bit like a Speedy, but in a way a little bit cooler. Definitely more unique. Amazing. The legendary Pogue. First time with this watch. I've never ever seen this watch in the flesh, so this is quite a momentous occasion for an old watch nerd like me. It's gorgeous. I can't get over. Massive thank you to Chris. I mean, how cool is that? And he sent a really nicely, equally colourful NATO strap. You know, I'm dying to put. I wonder how the NATO's fits with these lugs. I bet it looks so cool. You know, you try and consolidate and then you come across a watch like this and it's just it's impossible. There's too many watches. Look at that crystal. Gorgeous. Dazzling, rich, luscious. So warm, that gold sunburst pattern on it. Okay, so let's take it back to the studio and stay tuned for the full review. So I'm going to leave it there. Please don't forget to add your thoughts, queries, questions, opinions, all the rest of it down in the comments below. I always appreciate your feedback. Thank you very, very much for watching. Please do not forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and found it useful. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next one. Okay, ciao. Alright, let me do the thumbnail. Hello! Hello! It's got that old school folded bracelet. You know, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I can't deny. That's not me farting. That's the leather chair. I have this for my back. it's for sit-ups, but I have it for my back. Totally and utterly forgot what I'm talking about. Do I look hungover? I feel absolutely ghastly. Too much vino. Too much vino. Right, let's get into this. Oh, breakfast. Okay, let's do this video. No, I'm shooting a YouTube video. YouTube. A YouTube video. My little Tudor day date. It's been a year since I've owned it, and I realised that, but I'm in the middle of shooting a YouTube video, It's been a year of ownership, so I wanted to take this opportunity to reflect and share my things that I absolutely adore about the watch and some things that drive me a little bit balmy. Have you got mad? Have you got mad, sir? Now, of course, before I get into this video, I've got to do wristwatch magnetism. However, even the hello and two-tone used to be cheesy, but now it's kind of cool again. Pronto? Oh, bello, come stai? No, sto facendo un video. YouTube. At about a minute to not quite sure if it's the -2 or the -3 because they started introducing. They started introduce. For God's sake. They started introducing. They started introducing. That sounds absolutely bizarre now. They introduced. They introduced. That bezel. Nothing competes with that bezel. Start recording. Stop recording now. Hello.